Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. My name is David Hodge, active NGO warrior, representing Master Suleiman, the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals. This is wartime. Today my topic is, you were not forgotten. Before I start, I'd like to remind my people about the Holocaust. The Holocaust. This is the black man and woman of America's true experience, but they whitewash it and call it slavery, which many don't know that the term slavery is an insult to your true experience. It dumbs down, it completely degrades. It waters it down, brothers and sisters. This term waters down your experience, downplays it, minimizes it. You see? Because you don't understand the extent of our experience. So you would accept slavery because you don't understand what's right here in front of you. This horror, this affliction. You don't understand the big percentage that we suffered, which was the Holocaust. So you accept slavery as your experience because that's what they give you. You see? But if you go into the word slavery, it's just going to tell you that you were a slave. That you were in a corporation or a system that practiced owning slaves, that you were exhausted, that you had to endure exhausting labor, and you were restricted freedom legally. You were legally enslaved, held, and owned as human chattel or property in bondage by these people, these monsters. See, they don't even tell you that. Let's just keep it plain. By humans. You were owned by other human beings. Caucasian people. You were owned by other Caucasian people. By law. You were legally owned and under their authority. You see? You were under their care, under their control. You were being legally owned and forced to work and obey their every command. You were under their ownership, forcing you into servitude with little pay. And they were the ones who made the terms of how they wanted to pay you. The payment could be cow shit, pig shit, and that's your form of payment. You see? And no matter how hard they worked you, how tired you was, how sick you was, you were forbidden to quit your service. But nowhere in the definition of slavery does it speak about what's right here in front of you, brothers and sisters. See, it leaves out this part, the part two. The most important part, the part they're trying to hide, which is your affliction that you endured, brothers and sisters. The physical torture, torment, misery, murder, rape, genocide. You see, it leaves that part completely out. And it says, and they're saying that your 100% experience was slavery, which was only the 1% that we suffered. We suffered, brothers and sisters. Slavery was the 1%, which was the economic side. The maximum profit, minimum overhead. What I just explained, they gave us the bare minimum, the scraps. They gave us just enough to survive. They gave us shit as a form of payment. And if you didn't want the form of payment, they'd knock your teeth out your mouth and make you swallow that shit. You see? Because they're going to get work out of you, boy. They're going to get work out of you. Because you're building their paradise. They needed you to build their paradise. They didn't come get you for no reason. They snatched you up because you were the ones who turned shit into gold. They needed you. During that time of agriculture slavery, they needed you. So these people downplay your experience by calling it slavery. But slavery is not a good definition or expression of our true experience because it leaves out the horror, the affliction. It leaves out the whole thing. The 99% that we suffered, brothers and sisters, it leaves out that. It leaves out the assassinations. It leaves out all the things that are terrible. It leaves out them deliberately killing us, targeting us, aiming at us in particular to destroy our group of people, to destroy the black men and women of America. See, it leaves that out. It leaves out that it was a complete bloodbath. You see? These people were violent towards us, killing us, raping us. These people, this was a massacre, but they downplay it. They say that the Holocaust was worse than our experience, and we're still enduring it. The Holocaust only lasts for 5-6 years, and their own people did that to them. And they only lost like 1.2 or so million people. We've lost in the hundreds to 200 millions, brothers and sisters. And they're saying that their experience was worse than ours, and we're still enduring the process. We're still going through it. We're still going through the Holocaust. 466 years and counting. We're still going through it. Nearly 500 years, brothers and sisters. And these people saying that their experience was worse than ours. Are you kidding me? You can easily just add that up. That our 466 years is much longer than their 5 to 6 so-called years that they were murdered, put in gas chambers, or whatever the case may be, burnt up. It was quick. What happened to them was quick. We're enduring the process. It said persecution is worse than slaughter. They dragged ours on. You see? It was better they got murdered. That's called mercy. They didn't give us any. No mercy, no remorse. They tormented and tortured us 24/7, 365, all year round, relentlessly, non-stopping, continuously, no breaks. You see? No holidays, no birthdays, no celebrations, no nothing, no mercy, no remorse. They didn't care about you. You see? Straight mass homicide, mass murder. You see? Annihilation. This is what they did to us. Annihilated us. Exterminated us. Trying to eliminate us. Eradicate us, brothers and sisters. That's what they tried to do to us. And they almost succeeded. Thanks to the black woman. She followed her heart and she snuck around because they didn't let us sleep with the black woman. They had dibs on our women. They impregnated our women with their children. Had our women pregnant with their children, producing demons, producing their children, their black-faced children, half devil, half man, tar babies, Oreos, black on the outside, white in the inside, wolves in sheep clothing. You see, now we're plagued by demons. But the only reason why we're plagued by demons is because Massa was raping our women. But he tried to rape our women. He tried to kill us off, rape our women, and produce his children, wipe us out. But she snuck around. She went behind his back. She followed her heart. She risked her life and her children's life to make sure that the black man and woman, to make sure that the black man was still here. You see? She kept us alive. But they tell you, you better thank Jesus. You better thank God, Jesus Christ, who died for your sins. He was the one. It was due to his blood. You see, he died on the cross for your sins and he saved you. No, brothers and sisters, it was the black woman. She was the true warrior. She was the one, she was our true savior. You understand? Without her, we would not be here. That's reality. You see, they gave us Christianity. They gave us these religions. They gave us these opinions. They gave us all these things, these beliefs as distractions, as terrorizing weapons. They give us all these things to mess with your psyche. See? They give you the enemy's mind. They turned us into Christians. We were Muslims, brothers and sisters. They turned us into these people. They turned us into niggas. They turned us into hoodlums. They turned us into criminals. This is what they did to us. We wasn't like this before. When we got here, we didn't know anything about this. This was our first time seeing this straight up. This is the first time us seeing this with our eyes. You see, experiencing these things. We never knew. This wasn't even in our vocabulary. You see? But even if it was, they stripped us of all that anyway. They took everything from us anyway. You see? They stripped us down. Took everything from us. Took us from our land. Took our language from us. Took our heritage, our culture. Impregnated our women. You see? Took everything from you, brothers and sisters. Stopped you from thinking. Subjected you to 6 to 8 vocabulary so you couldn't think. You see? They didn't educate you. They didn't want you to be above their level of thinking, because if you did that, then they couldn't do what they wanted to do to you. You see? Because they knew in the long haul that if you could think past them, then you could break out. Eventually, you see, you could break out eventually once the time came where you were no longer suffering from energy deprivation. You could break out, because the only thing that was keeping us in bondage, keeping us enslaved, being afflicted, was because we were suffering from energy deprivation. That's what we created them for. You see? So that was fair game. But after 1947 and 1948, we were no longer suffering from energy deprivation. So these people, these monsters, these beasts, they had to make sure that we started inflicting terror on ourselves. We start suffering from self-imposed deprivation, meaning we started suffering from not having the proper understanding, lacking knowledge, not having thorough knowledge of self, not understanding our reality, that our reality is mathematics. These people gave us money and started making us spend. So we thinking we're good because now we so-called free, but they just released us into a bigger plantation. Now we hopping from plantation to plantation. You see, driving in your paddy wagon, going, you see, buying the clothes that they used to provide for you, living in the shacks they used to give you. You see, still doing the same thing, still have the paddy wagon out there for you. It's still imprisoning you, still falsely diagnosing you, still doing all these things to you. Nothing has changed. Now you just go from plantation to plantation and pick which master you want to work for. You still got his last name. You see, nothing has changed, brothers and sisters. They have you believing that things have switched, that things have changed. And they gave you the money now for you to destroy yourself because they no longer had any control over you. So you don't understand how mathematics work. So they're using our own existence, how everything works in the universe, against us because we're fools now. We've been indoctrinated. We've been programmed. We don't understand how things work. You see? That's why they're able to use mathematics against us and religion as a tool to make us powerless. See? So they're using money to make us spend. So every time you spend, that means you're taking from them. And every time you take it from them, you're subtracting from your life. So we created them, right? because we was in the negative. See, but once we got to that point where we were no longer suffering from energy deprivation, we were no longer in the negative. So they had to start making us build back up the negative so they can be the people who would see, because that's the only way they gain control over you. That's the only way they can gain control over you is when you're in the negative. So they give you the money to put yourself back in the negative so they can gain control over you, so they can torture you, because that's the only way they can do it, brothers and sisters. It's all mathematics. See, but they gave us their crap. They gave us Christianity, which was designed to terrorize us, threaten us with everlasting hell, torment and agony in this hell that don't exist if we don't obey Massa, which nowhere in the Bible, nowhere in the scripture does it tell you this. It's nowhere mentioned in the scripture. You can't find it. And Christianity is the only religion that has this concept. No other religion teaches this, brothers and sisters. Why? Because Christianity is not a religion. It's a terrorizing weapon used, directed to, it's intentionally to terrorize your mind, your psychological terror weapon directed at your mind, your mental, to terrorize us into absolute fear, terror, torture, absolute submission, with the threat of endless, everlasting torment in hell, a never-ending hell, suffering forever. You see, if we disobey Massa in any way, any shape or form, that's what it's created for, brothers and sisters, to keep you disconnected from reality, to teach you that reality is not real. You get reality when you go to heaven. That's your reality. This here is just a practice run. This here is just something just for you to get to the next place. You need to get to the next place, which is heaven, somewhere you can't see, somewhere no one has ever been to, somewhere they don't have physical proof. You see, that's your reward. You don't worry about what Massa and them doing over here. You don't worry about what the enemy is doing to you. You don't worry about people killing you. You don't worry about them taken from you. You don't worry about these things that's taking place around you, because you're getting your reward in heaven. So don't let them distract you from going to heaven. You see, that's the crap that they're running. They're telling you that you don't get anything, but you get to go to heaven. They're taking all your hard-earned money to tell you that don't worry about this and that. Don't worry about what the Caucasian man is doing to you. Don't worry about that these people won't stop. We probably won't ever get justice. You see, they're bribing you. They're convincing you to stay here in the land of your imprisonment. They're coaching you to stay here in the land of your imprisonment, to stay here oppressed, to stay with your oppressors. They're teaching you to love your enemy. They're teaching you that God is love. But what about the wrath? You see, because it said that these people would suffer for what they did to us. It said that we didn't go through all these things for nothing. What things, brother? What things did we go through? You see, because they're not telling you that. See? You see? You see this in front of you? Murder, rape, genocide, oppression, deception. This is what we went through. Torment, torture, misery, abuse, being beaten, whipped, fed like pigs in pig troughs, pig shit. You see? Threw our children there and they ate it with us. We had no utensils, no forks, no spoons. We scuffed it up with our bare hands, treated us worse than animals, turned us into animals, had us in cages, had us in zoo-like settings with people scuffing shit in our mouths. These people exploited us. You see, used us to their full benefit, raped and murdered us, experimented on us without anesthesia, sodomized us, castrated us, brothers and sisters. In the name of Jesus, after they left church, they were doing these things and taking pictures, trophies, and souvenirs. And these things were put in their bookmarks. You see, this is as achievements. You see, they took a picture of you smiling when you were disemboweled, dismembered, dismantled, amputated, decapitated. You see, after they left church. And the Jesus they served went through less affliction than we did. And they saying that we're nothing, we're worthless, we're cursed, we're ugly, we're not nothing. You're worthless, hateful, ugly people. That's what they're saying about you. That you're no good, that you're worthless. You need to be exterminated. So what you think they did? They think they're doing God's work by hanging us, starving us, cutting us open, peeling us alive. You understand? Gutting us, cooking us alive, burning us alive. You see? Using us, using our skin and hair to make puppets, material objects, feeding our children to gators, making us unrecognizable, using our children as sex toys. You see? Raping our whole family. This is what they did to us. Brand us like cattle. You see? Did whatever they wanted with us. This is what they did to us. Used us in every avenue you could think. Anything you could think of, they did it to us, brothers and sisters. These people, these devils completely dehumanized us past imaginable. That's what they did. And they told you that you were nothing. And they said that no one loved you. That they gave you a break. They're saying they gave you a break. They saying if it wasn't for them, you see, because you were supposed to get worse than this, but they spared you. We spared you. We spared you. You see? That's what they think about you. They think they spared you. You see? They feel like they could have went harder on you. They spared you, nigga. I spared you, nigga. You see? That's what they think about you. They don't care nothing about you. And they think they got away with what they did, but they didn't. That's why you see America crushing right before your eyes. You see this whole thing is about to be up in smoke. Their foot is in everything. They have their foot in all these wars. They have their foot in all this destruction. You see? Everything they doing is backfiring. Nothing's working. Their system is failing. You see? Their friends that they used to have, their allies are turning on them. You see? They're about to lose every war that they come in contact with. These people have made it to their judgment. Judgment is here. The cost of horror for what they did to us. They will not forget what they did to us. They will not be forgiven for what they did for us. And they will pay the full consequence, brothers and sisters. That's what's taking place. Everything that's going on is centered around what they did to us, the Holocaust, what we endured, brothers and sisters. And the Abrahamic covenant tells you which is our vision, our reward for enduring this process. So why don't Farrakhan, why don't any of these pastors and these preachers, T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, why don't any of these demons mass as children? Well, that's an easy question. Because they're mass as children. Why would they tell you a vision that's yours, it's not theirs? So they're going to tell you to crack. They're going to sell you to crack. They're going to keep you within the programming. They're going to make sure you stay programmed. You see? That's what mass as children do. They terrorbots. They come in and terrorize you, keep you within the programming. If you step outside the programming, they deprogram you. No, they disactivate you. You see? They get rid of you. You see, cause problems for you. Get you locked up. Get you put away. Get you murdered. Get you killed. You see, they good boys, good girls for Massa. You see, doing everything, all his commands, making sure they go above and beyond to please Massa because this is their reality as well. And they want to level up. They want to get closer to Massa. They want to earn the love that they never got from him because they look like you, so they hate you. But Massa was the one raping us. So they take that up with him. You see? So you have it. There you have it, brothers and sisters. The Holocaust. What they want you to forget. What they're not telling you. What they're not telling their children. Because they're trying to escape judgment, which they can't. They can't escape judgment. No one has and no one ever will. You see? So we're going to jump into our topic, brothers and sisters. You were not forgotten. So what do I mean? What do I mean by that? What do I mean by you were not forgotten? They told you that you were. These people are telling you that you were. They saying that what you went through was nothing. What you went through was crap. What you went through was less than a Holocaust. They're telling you that what you went through was not anything. They're calling your experience, what you went through here in America, they're calling it nothing. They're saying that, who cares? So what? You crybabies. That's what they're saying. That's what they're calling us. Crybabies. Oh, they're crying about slavery. That's what they're saying, brothers and sisters. We're crying about slavery. It was deeper than slavery. It was affliction. It was horror. It was misery. It was torture. You see? They don't tell you that part. That's the part that we ain't crying about. That was serious. What they did to us was serious. And they downplay it. You see? So they make it sound terrible. They mix it in with today's slavery, industrial slavery, which everyone's suffering from. But what we're suffering from is different. We're being murdered and killed every day, day in, day out. It has not stopped. You see? They have things in place, 3-strike laws, and they have abortion clinics and all these things that's killing our people, killing our population, stopping us from reproducing. Just like in the beginning of the Holocaust, these people still falsely diagnosing us, still killing us, still using the mathematics of chemicals in the food with removing vitamins and minerals and nutrients from the food, causing us to have deficiencies. You see? They're killing us with the food, the water, the environments that we're living in. They're killing us all around the board, brothers and sisters. And these people say, don't worry about what they did to you. You just worry about trying to make it to heaven, where your enemy's going to be. See, they get a front row seat to heaven after all these things they did to you. Are you kidding me? And you're gonna believe in the God that they believe in? That's suspect. I would be questioning that. Why the hell they get to go to heaven? See, there's something fishy about that. But we get the front row seat to hell. That's insane. You see? That's because we've been programmed. That's how they keep us underneath their thumb. That's how they keep us under their control. You see? By being paid by the enemies. They're the enemy. They are the enemy too. But they're getting paid by the devil, the government, to confuse us, mislead us, keep us dumbed down, keep us entertained. You see? Entertaining us. Everything that you're encountering. You praising these industry folk, these celebrities, entertainers, these people in the public figure, these demons. They are masses children that live in the masses house. Just like back in the day, it was field niggas and house niggas. House niggas was masses children from rape of the black woman. That's why they was in the house. They had better treatment. They worked. They ate better than us. They dressed better than us. They had more privileges than us. Just like today, everybody in the industry is masses children, or you're a sellout. You see? You can't get masses house unless you push a masses vision. So they're giving us masses vision. They're giving us a vision that's against us, brothers and sisters. It's 100% against you. It's 100% against your nature. It's your destruction. They're giving you a vision that's destructive to you. And the end result is your death. So they have us in self-destruct mode. They have us misusing our energy. They're telling us lies. You see? You don't think that a lie is dangerous, but anyone telling you a lie is destroying you. They're not telling you the truth, then that's destroying you. Because the truth empowers you, sets you free, betters your condition. A lie keeps you down, keeps you lowered, keeps you at the disadvantage, keeps you deceived, keeps you programmed, keeps you as, what do you call it? A victim no one cares about. You see? Oh no, they call you playing victim, even though you are truly a victim. You see? So this puts you in the category of a crybaby. Somebody who's always whining. Because in their reality, they don't like you. They don't care about you. You're nothing. They have everything. You have nothing. That's how they like it. Because we're a nation within a nation. We have different natures. So two different natures can't coexist in the same environment. So who you think winning? They winning. These devils and these demons, they're oppressing us. That's why you have to understand, brothers and sisters, that you're never going to have justice. You're never going to have peace here. You're never going to have what you think you're trying to strive for. The only thing that you going to get here is pain, misery, torture. You see, torment, day in, day out. You're going to always have a disadvantage here. And the end result is them wiping you out. Clean, taking you out, clean. That's their plan. You just don't know it. Everyone know it but you. You see? Because they can't afford for you to get what's in store for you. They know what's going on. They know they're under judgment. They knew what happened when COVID came in. They knew they were under judgment. They knew what that was. That was our covenant. Things came in right on time. They knew exactly what it was, brothers and sisters. See? So they knew you wasn't forgotten. Now, but that just confirmed it. But there's about to be things that's going to really confirm who you truly are in a minute. See? But they didn't forget. But you were never told. But I'm here to tell you that you're not forgotten. See? This is our vision. This is the black man and woman of America's true vision. This is the vision that none of these pastors or preachers are telling you. This is the vision that the Nation of Islam, who's plagued by demons and ran by the chief demon, Legion, Louis Farrakhan, Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds of the NOI backwards, meaning he corrupted it, tore it down, you see, gave the FBI, he completed every task on the list that the FBI wanted, you see, the itemized list of tearing down the nation. He replaced the nation with Sunniism, Scientology, have them worshiping devils, bringing devils into the NOI, saying devils ain't devils no more, you see, and plaguing it with demons, people that's other than us, because that's all he can produce is nothing, you see. So you have a Caucasian in black skin running the Nation of Islam, which is a black organization for black people. So you have a white man disguised as us running a black establishment, a Caucasian for the black Messiah. That's what's taking place there. And he's destroyed it. He's ruined everything that the messenger has built. He's torn it down, destroyed it. And he's using the people. He's living off the people. He's living lavish off the people. He's a human bloodsucker. But he's not telling you this, or any of his flunkies. Any of those people that's running with him, Jeffrey, Daniel, Ishmael, you see, Nori, any of those clowns, you see, they're not telling you about the Abrahamic covenant. They read one part and don't read the rest. That's what a lot of these people do. Or a lot of them don't tell you at all. But this is your covenant, brothers and sisters. This is important because this is telling you that you are not forgotten. This is a reminder. This is a reminder to you that you are not forgotten, black men and women of America. This is telling you exactly what you have in store and what your enemies have in store. This is how they knew that they were under judgment. I'm gonna read it for you, brothers and sisters. For you brothers and sisters who have not heard this, listen up. It says, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be sojourners. Or that's how I read it. The seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance, and thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. And in the fourth generation they shall come to their land again. So this is what the covenant is telling you, that we shall return to our own land again. That's what it's saying, brothers and sisters. It's saying that that God made a promise to Abram. See, it used to be Abraham, but Abram, he was split from his seed. See, Abraham, he was split from his seed, so he was no longer called Abraham until he unite with his seed. So he was called Abram. So his seed is split from him. So God made a promise to Abraham that know of a surety that your seed, you see, shall be sojourners. That's a specific word, sojourner. See, sojourner means temporary. See, in a land that is not ours. America's not ours. We're not from here. We're from the Middle East. We're from over there. That's where we're from, over there in Africa. We're from over that way. You see what I'm saying? That's where all our people are. In the Middle East, in Asia. You see? So it says that we be sojourners here in America. And we shall serve these people and be afflicted by these people, which we have for 400 years. See? We were brought over here in 1555. Took them 64 years to program us. So the moment they program you is when servitude start, because that's when you became a slave. So servitude started in 1619, and it says 400 years that nation will be judged. That's exactly what happened, brothers and sisters. It came in right on time. 1619, 2019, 2020. You wrap a year up by bringing in a new year. 2020 came in right on time. COVID-19, the plague that would kill the firstborn, meaning the elderly, would pass over us, the black man and woman of America, those with the lamb's blood. Pass over those with the lamb's blood. See? Because the lamb, Master Suleiman, is original. So you had the DNA of Suleiman. You had to have the DNA of the Son of Man. So you had to be original. See? So it passed over us. And it was hitting all the Caucasian people. They were the ones being affected by the virus. That's how they knew they was under judgment. Because they try to claim that we were dropping like flies. But the World Health Organization made sure they put that out there that we were not being affected by the virus. That our brothers and sisters in Africa and Haiti were virtually not being affected. And they didn't know why. It's because they're in a judgment. And the plague wasn't for us. It was for them. And all the people who's supposed to be, you see, they're supposed to be holy. You see, they're supposed to be God's people, right? These people, false Israel, the people impersonating us, the people who stole our birthright. See, they're supposed to pass over them, right? Because they're supposed to be us. They're supposed to be true seed Abraham. But it didn't. It didn't pass over them. They were dropping like flies too, and still are. You see? So all these people are dropping like flies. And they shut down their whole system. Y'all remember it? Everything was down. Everybody was panicked. You see? Because all their systems failed. Everything they trying to do to destroy us backfired, and it hit them because they were in the time of judgment. They didn't understand. So this is why this stuff is important. But why aren't anybody telling you about this? Why is nobody talking to you about this? Why aren't your pastors and preachers, your local pastors and preachers, and these people, or your celebrity pastors and preachers, or why ain't Farrakhan and these clowns talking about this? It's because it's not their vision. You see? They're not telling you this. They're not. They should be, but they're not. You see? So we're going to move forward. It says that afterwards, we shall come out. You see? Just that word alone. It says we sojourners in the land that's not ours, and we shall come out. You see? They keep telling you that you're going to stay here. All your enemies is telling you that you're going to inherit America, which is going to be destroyed. They're telling you you're going to get 6 states. You're going to stay here amongst the enemy. You're going to get reparations, which will cancel out your covenant. Take land that's worthless, that don't have any topsoil. They're telling you that you're going to get land that's worthless. You need topsoil to grow food. So what's the purpose of getting worthless land? And what's the purpose of staying on the worst part of planet Earth when you're destined for the best part? It was reserved for you. The best part of planet Earth, which is Arabia, which is your true home. But they're telling you that you're staying here. You see? That's what these liars are telling you. But it clearly says that we shall come, that we will come out. That we will come out of here with great substance. And they don't tell you about that. What's that supposed to mean? What's the great substance? We're coming out with great substance? Well, brothers and sisters, you're coming out with nothing. When we leave here, you're coming out with nothing. See? So what? Where the great substance coming in at, brother? See? Good question. You are the great substance. The great substance is you. You are the creator of everything. See? That's why America got you here. You the wealth of America. You the wealth of the universe. You keep everything balanced. You are the gold, the silver. You are the creators. You see? So you're leaving out with yourself the best thing. You see? Because you're the strongest, the powerfulest. You're the best thing. You the best thing they got going. You the best thing in general. You the strongest. So you're leaving out with your mind that's going to create, that's been creating their paradise. And now you're going home to go create your own paradise, which no one can take from you anymore. No one's taking from you anymore. And it says that we shall go to thy fathers in peace. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We're returning back to our lifestyle. You see, we're returning back to Islam. We're returning back to righteous Muslims. We're returning back to discipline. We're going home in peace. We're taking back what they stole from us, our land, our heritage, our culture, our language. We're going back to the Ancient of Days. We're going back to how things used to be. And it said that we shall be buried in a good old age, meaning we'll be living for hundreds of years, up to 1,000 years. And then, as all things in life, they die, but then we be born again. You see, called upgrade. We upgrade and get another life. You see, because we live forever. That's why they hate you, because they're trying to be like you, because they know you've always been here and always will be, because you are Allah, brothers and sisters. You see? You are the original nation. You are the Asiatic black man. You are the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. You understand? Because you self-created yourself from intense pressure, which is fire. And see, that's what cream does. It rises from the center. It rises from the bottom to the top. See? That's who you are. That's what it says. That's what it meant by the cream of the planet Earth. Meaning that you rose from the center of the earth. Just like the cream rise from the bottom to the top. That's who you are, the maker. You mean that you get the earth was formless. It's a formless place. Everything you see in it, you gave form. See, because that's what we do. That's how we created everything. By transferring energy from one form to another, formless energy, into we turned it into what we wanted. We formed all these things that you see. You see the sun, the moon, the stars, the constellations, the galaxies. You see all these things. You see the mountains. Everything. Did nothing just magically happen. We made it happen. You see. So you're better than you know. They're not telling you, you see? But let them do what they do. So it says in the fourth generation, which we hear now, brothers and sisters, it said we shall return here to our land again, Arabia, the best part of planet Earth. You see, this was the promise made to you, brothers and sisters. You think that these people be trying to tell you. You think these people will be trying to uplift you, get you prepared for the new reality, because you have to be prepared. You see, they brainwashed us. They programmed us. They indoctrinated us. They stripped us. They took everything from us. That means you got to get it all back. And there's only one book. There's only one book that's telling you everything that's happening right now. There's only one thing that's in sync with this reality, which is the Injil, which is Revelations, which Master Suleiman has ignited, which is destroying this whole reality. By him speaking these things into crushing this reality with the words, with the spirit of his mouth, which is the mathematical, because see, the Bible is a mathematical book. So the spirit of his mouth is the mathematics of his words. And he's destroying them with the brightness of his coming. See, he's destroying all our enemies with the angel, the highest pressure in the universe. And this book is the only thing that's in sync with what's taking place. But things are not just happening because this book says, hey, this is what says is going to happen. Oh, look at that. Look at there. You see, these things are happening because they're being made happen. Someone has to make things happen. That's our reality, mathematics. Every action has an opposite equal reaction. Things have to happen because someone has to make them happen. Every action equals reaction. So everything has force behind it, meaning that somebody's driving the force. He's the one pushing the force behind the reality you see being crushed. See, because Revelations is beautiful. It's 22 chapters divided by 7. See, it's a mathematical book, which is pi. And pi is a symbol. Pi is a representation, a symbol for a circle, which circle represents completeness, which is 360. See, so Master Suleiman has 360 degrees of knowledge and wisdom that's crushing this whole reality. That's why it's coming from all sides. America's being crushed on all ends. You see? So brothers and sisters, we have to be prepared to go home. You have to be equipped to go home. You have to be certified to go home. You have to be purified to go home. A person has to prepare you for that, because we are living in a low pressure reality. These devils' reality is a low pressure reality. And the pressure that's coming in is high pressure. So if you don't get a hold of the high pressure, you're gonna be crushed. That's why you have to be prepared. But so why isn't any of these pastors and preachers preparing you? Why isn't Louis Farrakhan, the so-called Messiah, Son of Man, right? Why isn't he preparing you? It said that the Son of Man would come, would break the 7 seals. It said he would guide the people home. He would lead them home, not wheel off in a wheelchair. We're gonna wheel him off in a wheelchair. You see? It said that he have a glorified body. See? Said he wouldn't. You see? Said he have he would have hair. He would have hair that was wool. He had woolly hair, gray woolly hair. It said that he would not be affected by sight. Wouldn't need glasses. Said he wouldn't be disemboweled. You see? It says that he have a glorified body. His health wasn't compromised. Meaning he was healthy. You see? Farrakhan doesn't fit any descriptions. Said that he would be conceived in 1948. You see? He would be conceived around the time that the star rose in the east. Meaning he would be conceived in the west. Would show the sign of his conception. False Israel coming in. Them creating false Israel, putting false Israel there to counteract that we were the true seed, that we were not the true seed of Abraham, that they were putting these people there. You see? So anyway, brothers and sisters, this Abrahamic covenant is guaranteed. This is the will of Allah. This is going to be fulfilled. This is what they don't want to happen, but it's going to happen. See, because this is our plan. It said Allah, which we are, is the best of planners. They plan the plan, and Allah plan the plan, and Allah is the best of planners. So our plan will prevail, and theirs won't. So this is a reminder to you that you have not been forgotten. You have not been forgotten, brothers and sisters. If you need, there's further proof. You go into the Bible, it's further proof. You have the verse here in Deuteronomy. It says, "For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you out of all the peoples of the face of the earth." See, the earth is the Caucasian nations. See, the European nations, the Caucasian people. Face of the earth, to be his people, his treasured possessions. See, so these demons, that's one thing they do tell you, right? That they're highly favored, that God has favorites. See, but they didn't tell you. They've got to tell you that they're right. God do have favorite people. It's the true seed of Abraham. It's the black man and woman of America. You've been chosen out of everyone. And that's what they upset about. That you You niggas! They can't believe that you're the one. You was the one chosen out of everybody. You see? They don't understand it. But you were here. You were the first and you shall be the last. You see? They were the last and they shall be the first to go. They don't understand all that. We'll get to it. So you have another verse here. It says, but it was because the Lord loved you. See? He loved you. They said he didn't. He said he does. Said the Lord loved you and kept the oath he swore to your ancestors. Our ancestors wanted to leave. They wanted to get out of here. They didn't want you to stay here in the land of imprisonment. They wanted you to get out of here. They wanted to be avenged. It says that he swore to your ancestors, not the demons' ancestors. The demons' ancestors wanted to stay here because this is their reality. So they're mixing their ancestors with ours. Our ancestors, the ones who suffered the Holocaust, they want us to get out of here. Says that he swore to our ancestors that he would bring you out with a mighty hand. The hand which he represents on the angel key. He's that works. He's the one in the angel key. It's just identifying him as the Almighty God. It's just identifying Master Fard Muhammad, which is our God. He's the one who's going to deliver us. He's the one that's going to keep the guaranteed. He's going to fulfill the promise that was made to us. So it says that he will bring us out with a mighty hand and redeem you from the land of slavery. You see? From this horrific place who tormented and tortured us, from the power which they won't have. You see? Which they're losing, which is evidence of the power that they're losing because you see everything is taking place. Inflation, violence, murders. You see? Massive amounts. You see? They have, you're right. The violence is rising, increasing, inflation. You have drug use, drug overdose, gender confusion in general. All these things, all this chaos. See, that's evidence that they're losing power because they're getting off the track. They're losing track of the guidance. You see? They're doing things that they're not supposed to do. They're not following the guidance, which is their power. So he will redeem us from the land of slavery, from the power that they're losing of Pharaoh, the one running. You see, Pharaoh the king who's running Egypt, which Egypt is America. So Pharaoh is the one who's in charge of America at the time, which is President Biden. But, they have associates, and they're all one. They're all in the same category. The association with Pharaoh, which is all these devils. You see? So it says we will be brought out of here and rescued. You see? Then we'll be delivered. We're getting out of here. See? Beautiful. It says when the Lord, your God, brings you into the land he swore to your fathers. See, this is another example that we're getting out of here. That the promise was made to us. It's going to be fulfilled, guaranteed. It says that it says we'll be sojourners in a land that's not ours. See, it says sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and will bless you. For to you and to your offspring I will give all these lands, and I will establish the oath that I swore to Abraham your father. See? He's guaranteeing the covenant, which is the will of Allah, which the will be done. You see? That's what they don't want. You see? Then it says, then say to them, thus says the Lord God, behold, I will take the people of Israel from the nations among which they have gone, and I will gather them. See? Harvest time. Gather them. You see? During harvest time, he will gather them from all around and bring them to their own land. So this is the judgment. This is when he brings all together harvest time, and we separate these demons from amongst us, and we get ready to go home, go back to our own land. We're going home, brothers and sisters. And it says, I will bring you into the land that I swore to give to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob. I will give it to you for a possession. I am the Lord. It says, when the Lord, your God, brings you into the land he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, his son Isaac, and his son Jacob, to give you, the black man and woman of America, a land with large, flourishing cities you did not build. See, we're going home in luxury. We're going home in mansions with gold toilets. We're going home in cities that we haven't built. We're going home. We're going home to live the good life. We're about to, everything that's in Arabia that's built is ours. And we're going to go claim it. We're going to go take it. You see, it's ours. So we're about to be living in cities we didn't build. Living in mansions we didn't build. Because it's all ours. You see, living good. Living in complete bliss. You see, in a garden as wide as the heavens and earth. We got, brothers and sisters, the land of milk and honey. You see, going to be a lot of plant life. Going to be a lot of cattle. Going to be a lot of, you see, it's going to be very abundance of wealth there. Wealth meaning plant life, cattle, life. It's going to be, you see, it's going to be topsoil, things of that nature. Fresh, we're going to have fresh food. No need for refrigerators. You see? Brothers and sisters, we're about to be living so good. And this is the promise that's made to you. That we're going home. That we're not staying in the land of our imprisonment. That we're getting out of here. That we're completely separating from the enemy. We're going home. This is the promise, brothers and sisters. And it says that I will plant them on their land. So this is the land he's going to plant us. When Master Farah Muhammad take us home, he deliver us. Those in the Lamb's Book of Life. You have to be in the Lamb's Book of Life. You see? You have to get Master Suleiman's Lamb's Book of Life. That's the only Master Farah Muhammad will only deliver those in the Lamb's Book of Life. So you have to get in his book. You have to be certified. You have to upload the knowledge. You got to get in the mind zone. You got to get prepared to go home, brothers and sisters. So he said he will plant them in their land, and they shall never again be uprooted out of the land that I have given them. So that's the promise to us. We're going home, and we will never be disturbed. We're going back in peace and security. We're getting everything back that they stole from us. We're avenging our ancestors. We're avenging our women. We're putting our women back on the pedestal where they belong, as the personification of peace and beauty, never to be touched again, not even a hair on their head. You see? We're going back home as the rulers of the planet again, restoring the planet. We're about to go home and never be tampered and touched with again, never be uprooted or removed. Can't nobody remove us from where we're going. You see? But the so-called, these false Israel, these false people, it's in the name, false Israel, spell it wrong. They spell Israel wrong. Something that's real, you spell it I-S-R-E-A-L. They spell it I-S-R-A-E-L. See, it's all wrong. Them sitting on a lion throne because they're liars, they're imposters, they're phonies. See, but ever since they was planted in the Middle East, they're not even sitting on Great Arabia. They sitting in little old Palestine. They're not even sitting on the right land. You see, this is more indications that they're not who they claim to be. So they're sitting in the holy place in the Middle East, claiming to be us, but they haven't had peace and security since they've been there. And the plague didn't pass over them. They were dropping like flies over there. So, see, they about to be in a war with Iran and false Israel, and they're going to lose that war with Iran, which is not supposed to happen. See, because they're supposed to be true seed to Abraham. And it says once he planted them in their land, that they are not to be uprooted, meaning removed. That's an abomination. That's all I'm going to say about that, brothers and sisters. You can put the math together. That's not supposed to happen, you see? And we have second claim to that covenant. So you know what happens next. Everybody gonna find out they're phonies. And they find out who the true seed of Abraham really is, brothers and sisters. It's time to go home. You're blessed. You see? And it says that you're going home. So that's what we need to, that's the mindset that we need to be preparing for. We need to be uploading this thorough knowledge of self. We need to be getting out of here. We need to be preparing to get out of here. Because where we're going is about to be something you've never experienced. About to be complete bliss, which you've never experienced. We're getting out of here. This temporary short gains and all these things, this world's life is coming to an end. Everything you invest, everything in this world is about to be crashed and crushed and turned into dust. This Egypt is never to be a nation again. You understand? It's about the house. America's on fire. It's about to collapse and burn. And I know the way out. Us India warriors know the way out. Master Suleiman is the one who knows the way out. He's the one that you got to get in his book of life to get out of here. So he definitely knows the way out. You understand me? So brothers and sisters, you are blessed. We're going home. We're going home to Arabia, the best part of planet Earth. You're blessed, brothers and sisters. They lied to you. You're the true seed of Abraham. You're everything that they want to be. You're everything everybody want to be. But it's you see? So with that said, brothers and sisters, I'm going to bring this to a close. Thank you for listening to me today. Assalamu alaikum.